Man, that's a tough fight. Especially for Xander at this point in his career. But it shows his heart and his confidence, that he have in himself, and he's ready to go make history for his country. And he's gonna do real well in that fight.
Boots a hell of a fighter. What kind of advice would you give Boots if you were his corner man?
I'll just say don't always be looking for the knockout boxing. So, he a good boxer.
Most difficult guy to fight in the weight class because he's rangy. He can do so many things. He can fight inside. He can fight outside. He's a great body puncher. He's a very, very respected guy, and I think he's very mature for his age.
It's hard to really go against Boots because on that one with specifically Xander, I feel Xander's still young, Boots is a lot older and has a lot more.
Boxing experts are making their final predictions for the Jaron Ennis versus Xander Zayas showdown. Terence Crawford believes Ennis is the favorite because of his experience, proven ability, and world-class skill set. While Crawford recognizes Zayas as a highly talented young fighter with a bright future, he feels Ennis is more polished and battle-tested, giving him the clear edge heading into the fight.
I just think, right now, it's a little bit too early for him.
Eddie Hearn believes Jaron "Boots" Ennis has a fight IQ that sets him apart from almost everyone else in boxing. He says Ennis understands the sport on a different level and is convinced fans have only seen a portion of what he can truly do, with even more impressive skills still waiting to be revealed inside the ring.
Balls to do it, so you have to respect Zayas, and the fact that he's willing to do it, he's a serious threat because he's not an idiot. Top rank aren't idiots. Like they think after this fight.
Terence Crawford is encouraging Xander Zayas to take on the toughest sparring partners and not shy away from difficult challenges. He believes true confidence is built by facing fears head-on in training, and that pushing through those hard moments will prepare Zayas mentally and physically for the fight.
Our sparring, work on things that you don't like to do. Get comfortable doing things that you don't like to do and try things. Everybody come and spar and they do the same thing over and over and over, and then they wonder why they don't get better.
That's right.
Or they fight the same way. That works on this level, but when you get to the elite level, you're going to have to pull everything out.
Max Kellerman believes Jaron Ennis will be in control throughout his fight with Xander Zayas because of his greater experience, sharper ring IQ, and higher overall skill level. While he recognizes Zayas as a gifted young fighter with plenty of potential, he feels he has not yet reached the elite level that Ennis has already established.
Talk about the difference between championship and belt.
Yeah.
You can win belts in different divisions, right? But Boots was the Ring Magazine welterweight champion of the world. Right now, I don't love the way he got it because Stanionis hadn't fought in a million years. It's his only real significant welterweight win, really, of a guy who's in the top 10, and that guy was really inactive. But he dominated that fight, Mike.
Yes.
Jaron "Boots" Ennis says his priority is fighting world champions because that is the path he wants his career to follow. He gives credit to Xander Zayas for being a talented young contender, but believes there is still a clear difference in experience between them. Ennis remains focused on competing against the best in the division and feels that facing title holders is what will truly shape his legacy, while continuing to show respect for the sport's rising young fighters.
Feeling great, man. About to be a two-time weight division unified champ. Man, I'm snapping my legacy, man. It's only up, man. I'm about to show the world I'm the best in the world. I'm gonna continue to keep showing the world I'm the best in the world. And like this boxing game mine, straight like that.
Now, the bout with Virgil Ortiz looked like it was done, and then of course, the legal stuff happened. That had nothing to do with you.
Right.
But you always said that you were going to give the fans the Virgil fight, and if that didn't happen, right back to the mission, and the mission was the belts.
Yep.
So was that why Xander was your first option after Virgil?
Yeah, I mean, well, once we, me and the team sat down, we figured out like, this, everything falling through, it's not really gonna happen. I told them, I told my team, Metro, the zone, I'm like, yo, go get me Xander. I'm gonna go get me Xander, or go get me somebody with the belts, and that's what they did, and I'm glad they did that, and I'm excited. I'm ready.
Leo Ruiz believes Xander Zayas is a dangerous opponent and expects a close, competitive fight, but he gives a slight advantage to Jaron "Boots" Ennis. He says Ennis has more experience at 154 pounds, giving him greater confidence and composure at this level, while Zayas is still adjusting to elite competition. Ruiz feels either fighter could win depending on their performance on fight night, but he sees Boots as the more complete and versatile boxer. Ennis can seamlessly switch between southpaw and orthodox, fight aggressively or box from the outside, and make smart adjustments during exchanges. His high ring IQ, ability to adapt under pressure, and comfort fighting both on the front foot and while moving backward make him a difficult and unpredictable opponent.
What do you see Xander's strengths? What do you see weaknesses on both fighters? How do you see Xander versus Boots going?
If you want me to be honest, I feel like it's a 50-50 fight. Zayas is he's been at 154 for a way longer time, and Boots is coming up. But of course, skills pay the bills. I feel like Boots could edge it off in a close fight, but who knows? Xander could pull off the upset, even though he's a champion. But I think Boots is the more skillful fighter in a way. But Xander is no pushover, and he's a champion for a reason, and it could go either way. But I feel like Boots could slightly take the edge on that one. Yeah.
On the other hand, Xander Zayas has earned praise for his discipline, polished boxing skills, and excellent use of distance with a sharp, accurate jab. He is a technically sound fighter who controls rounds by staying calm, relying on strong fundamentals, and avoiding unnecessary exchanges. His patience helps him maintain a steady pace and build points, especially against opponents who cannot match his timing and rhythm. However, Leo Ruiz believes Zayas has not yet faced the same caliber of elite competition as Jaron "Boots" Ennis, and that gap in top-level experience could become a key factor if the fight reaches the later, more demanding rounds. Although Xander Zayas is developing quickly, facing a fighter like Jaron "Boots" Ennis is a major step up in competition. Ruiz believes Zayas could be challenged by the lack of experience in high-pressure moments against elite opponents. He also notes that Ennis can sometimes take unnecessary risks while trying to wear opponents down, which may create openings if he isn't careful. Even so, Ruiz views this as a very competitive and exciting matchup, giving a slight edge to Ennis because of his superior adaptability, deeper experience at the highest level, and more complete all-around skill set under pressure.
Has more tools in the bag. I feel like he's really good going forward or back where he could box. He's a southpaw. He could turn orthodox, whatever. I feel like he could adapt. And Xander's a good boxer. He could box and stay on the outside and just win, just using his jab and being really good on the outside. It's kind of hard to see, to pick a definite fighter to win, but I think Boots will for sure, take the edge on.
Greg Hackett offers a balanced and well-rounded prediction for the June 27th showdown between Xander Zayas and Jaron Ennis in New York City. He believes the 154-pound division is one of boxing's most competitive weight classes and sees the top contenders as being very closely matched based on their recent performances and quality wins. Hackett says Zayas has earned plenty of respect with his impressive victories and steady development, pointing to his win over Abbas as proof of how much he has grown at a young age. He also views Ennis as a dangerous and motivated fighter entering a new chapter at 154 pounds, where his size, skill, and versatility will face a tougher test. In Hackett's opinion, the outcome will depend on ring IQ, conditioning, pressure, and mental toughness.
Question more for you. What do you think about Boots versus Xander? How do you pick that out?
Man, it's two insanely talented fighters. I myself am a Xander fan. I'm through and through since day one. I've known him since the amateurs. I'm gonna rock with Xander. He's my guy. I won't ever go against him, man. So Xander's my guy, and I'm gonna keep with him. But Boots is such a talented fighter. I'm a fan of his as well, and I'm excited for that. I just saw he posted today that he signed the contract. So let's see how it goes.
Hackett believes Xander Zayas, as the champion, must prove how he handles true elite-level pressure, while Jaron "Boots" Ennis is driven by the chance to earn respect and establish himself at the top of the 154-pound division. He says this is one of Ennis's first major tests against a skilled, powerful, and well-rounded opponent at this weight. Hackett also praises Zayas for accepting such a difficult fight at a young age, calling it a sign of confidence and ambition. He expects Zayas to rely on his jab, movement, and technical boxing to control the action, while Ennis will likely use his pressure, versatility, and ability to adapt to wear him down. Overall, Hackett sees a highly competitive fight that could go the full distance if Zayas sticks to a disciplined game plan, but he believes an aggressive approach from both fighters could lead to a decisive finish.
Now we see that Xander is fighting Boots June 27th. Love to get your reaction on that. What do you think about the winner, leading up to a Fundora fight, but just the fight itself as well?
So what's the first question? Who the best at 54?
I mean, yeah. I mean, who do you think is the best at 54? And then, yeah, what do you think about June 27th in New York City?
I think it's a three-way tie out of all the champions. You know why I say that? Who got the best win out of all of them guys?
At 54, I would say Xander.
Xander got the best win.
Yeah.
And who would that win be?
I think Abaz beating Tellis was big. And yeah, and then him beating Abaz, I think that was huge.
Winky Wright believes the matchup between Xander Zayas and Jaron "Boots" Ennis has all the ingredients for a highly competitive and exciting fight, especially with the 154-pound division being so strong right now. He says boxing is at its best when elite fighters are willing to face each other instead of avoiding difficult challenges. According to Wright, true greatness is earned by defeating top-level opponents, not by building a record against weaker competition. He feels both Zayas and Ennis have reached the point in their careers where they need to prove themselves against the best in the division. Overall, Wright views this fight as a major test for both fighters and an important matchup that will help strengthen the future of the 154-pound division.
I think, obviously him being 23, you wanting this fight. Boots, only has one fight really at 54, fight in Lema. So I mean, this is a big guy, can box. What do you see in the fight?
It's gonna come down to IQ. It's gonna come down to conditioning. It's gonna come down to pressure. It's gonna come down to what Xander is willing to go through. Xander is the champion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boots is hungry because he want that respect and he want those titles. Xander got to figure out how far he willing to go. I think he's willing to go there because what he went through with Abbas was a good tangle up. You know what I mean? That was a good little mix. But
Winky Wright believes both Xander Zayas and Jaron "Boots" Ennis have reached the stage of their careers where they must take on elite opponents to prove they truly belong among the best. He says fighters cannot achieve greatness without facing high-level competition and performing under real pressure. Wright also highlights the division's rising stars, including Virgil Ortiz, Xander Zayas, and Boots Ennis, calling them the future of the 154-pound weight class. With Virgil currently unavailable because of legal issues, he sees Zayas stepping into this opportunity as a positive development that keeps the division active and exciting. Overall, Wright fully supports the matchup, believing it is the kind of meaningful fight boxing needs to attract fans and push the sport forward.
Right now, it looks like Xander and Boots are going to fight. What are your thoughts on that fight?
It's going to be a good fight, man. The division looking good right now, and I just want to see all the fighters fight each other, man. The best need to fight the best. That's what's going to bring the fans to box.
He strongly favors Jaron "Boots" Ennis to win, saying he has backed Boots from the beginning and still believes he is the better and more complete fighter in this matchup. He expects Xander Zayas to have some early success during the opening rounds by using his movement and finding a rhythm, but believes that advantage will disappear once Ennis starts making adjustments. According to him, Boots' athleticism, punch variety, and sharp timing will take over as the fight progresses, with his unpredictable combinations making it extremely difficult for Zayas to defend effectively. He feels Xander will struggle to keep up once the pressure and pace increase. When asked how Zayas could win, he says the only realistic chance is landing a perfectly timed counter while Ennis is attacking, but believes relying on movement or technical boxing alone will not be enough. Overall, he predicts Ennis will take control in the middle rounds and score a stoppage around the 7th or 8th round.
You only be great by beating somebody great. You know what I'm saying? You can have a bunch of wins with no great win. You're just a good fighter, but you want to be great, you need to beat another great fighter. So they got the opportunity, and I hope they do it.
What are your thoughts on, if you know about it, the Virgil situation? Virgil Ortiz, him and Golden Boy have kind of like a lawsuit going on against one another. Virgil put the lawsuit out for Golden Boy. Now he's sitting on the sideline waiting for arbitration. Do you think it was right of Xander to step in and say, you know what, I'll take on Boots since you're going to be sidelined for a bit?
I had nothing. I don't know about it. Tell you the truth. You just telling me new. But it's good that he stepped in and we can get a fight going. But
Tim Bradley strongly disagrees with the idea that Jaron "Boots" Ennis will have an easy time against Xander Zayas. He believes anyone thinking that is overlooking how competitive this matchup truly is, emphasizing that Zayas is much more than a promising young prospect. Bradley describes him as a hungry, skilled fighter with excellent boxing IQ, sharp movement, and effective counterpunching ability. He also points out that Zayas is physically strong for the 154-pound division and could match Ennis in both size and strength, reducing some of Boots' usual advantages. Bradley adds that Zayas is very good at capitalizing on opponents' mistakes, especially when aggressive fighters become overconfident and leave openings.
Zayas, Jaron, Ennis. What you think?
Boots by stop the 7th, 8th round.
That was fast, eh?
I got Boots. I've been saying it.
What do you see?
First 2 rounds, Xander is going to get because Boots going to adjust. And I think after that, Boots just takes over. I think Boots just he's too athletic. The way he puts his punches together and where they come from, he's not going to see them.
What does Xander have to do to be successful?
I can't really, I don't see nothing he can do. Except he might have some private power, probably catch Boots with something. Surprisingly, probably punch when he punches. He just got to throw. But if he just stands there and thinks he's going to move and try to be athletic with him, Boots got him all the way.
Now, do you see it being a systematic breakdown or one shot's going to get him out of it?
Bradley explains that Jaron "Boots" Ennis is an aggressive fighter who enjoys pressing the action, setting traps, and looking for a knockout. However, he believes that approach can sometimes make Ennis impatient and leave openings, especially against a disciplined boxer like Xander Zayas. Bradley says Zayas has the skills to take advantage of those mistakes and make Ennis pay if the opportunities appear. At the same time, he acknowledges that Ennis is an elite, fast, and dangerous fighter who has continued to improve his ability to adjust during fights. Still, he notes that smart, slick, and mobile opponents have caused Ennis problems in the past. Overall, Bradley sees this as a genuine 50-50 matchup, believing both fighters have realistic paths to victory and that the outcome will depend on discipline, in-fight adjustments, and who handles the pressure with fewer mistakes.
You crazy. You crazy if you think this fight gonna be a slam dunk for him. You know, who was the last technical guy that Boots fought, man? Karen? Come on, man. He get in there with a young gun, man, just as hungry and energetic as he is. You understand that? Bigger than he is. Probably just as strong as he is. High boxing IQ, just as well as he does. You know, got skills, good counterpuncher, good legs, good movement. Can throws and punches, got a left hook, which is the punch that Boots get hit with most. You know, like, Boots got the right.
Coach Breadman believes Xander Zayas is still developing as a young fighter, but says winning 2 belts proves he is a legitimate contender and should not be underestimated against Jaron "Boots" Ennis. He expects this matchup to be very different from a potential Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz fight, which he views as a more action-packed battle. Instead, Breadman believes Zayas will rely on smart boxing, using movement, timing, and in-fight adjustments to keep the action under control. He says Zayas is known for adapting as the fight progresses, making this more of a tactical contest than an all-out brawl. While acknowledging Ennis' pressure, versatility, and physical strength, Breadman believes Zayas' discipline and ring IQ could help him remain competitive over the full 12 rounds. He expects both fighters to make constant adjustments throughout the fight, creating a close and competitive matchup, and views it as an important East Coast showdown with major significance for the 154-pound division.
Gets hit with most. You know, this ain't gonna be no damn slam dunk. This probably might be like a half court shot. Yeah, for both these dudes, man. You know, like, Xander like guys that come forward. And you already know Boots is going to be aggressive, boxing coming forward. You know, his game, he gets too impatient sometimes. Because he's constantly on the hunt looking for a knockout and looking to counter. You know, we know Boots like to be first. We know he likes to bring the action and bring the pain. You know, he needs to learn discipline. That's it. And Xander's that guy that can make him learn that real fast because Xander's one of those dudes that's going to tax your mistakes. That's what he does. He tax these guys that come forward, he tax their mistakes. Now he's in there with a quick guy.
Who do you think comes out on top in this showdown, and why? Share your prediction in the comments below and let us know who you're backing to win.